Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Helping Hands Presents Oregon Angels. I'm Wes, and this guy over here is.
I'm Brett Franklin. I'm a professional cosplayer.
So, this week we're going to be discussing what a DSP is. DSP is short for Direct Support Professional. So, our goal is to kind of give everybody an idea of what goes into this profession, what it takes, the stressors, all that good stuff. So, with that, I like to start with. Like I said, DSP stands for Direct Support Professional. Being a DSP, there's a lot of things that go into it, a lot more than what people realize.
Yes.
And there's training, everything from HIPAA to abuse and watching out on how to make sure that doesn't happen, what goes into that, to who you report to proper cooking, diets, how to handle certain situations as the day goes on or the week goes on. Brett, share a little bit of what you run into in terms of things.
With stress for myself, if I need to take a break and I see my client is already doing his own thing, and I just tell one of my coworkers I need to just take a little breather, just go outside and collect myself, or you can to have you and the client do a deep breathing exercise. Just do it all the way till 10 and just keep going if you have to make both me and the client feel comfortable and feel more relaxed.
Well, that's awesome to hear that you got that in place for yourself, because it's so important in this field. I've been there myself where I would step aside for a few seconds, just kind of took a few seconds to gather, because there's moments where it's going to be extremely stressful, and it's those things to deal with. And it's nothing personal during these stressful moments. It's just the fact that we have individuals that we're trying to support that have reached a frustrating moment and just don't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
And that's what we're running into.
Yeah, it's tough, especially if you're another individual who have disabilities. So it's hard to, keep that straight face.
Oh, it is. It really is. I agree with you on that one. It's never easy. But there's a lot of great ways to deal with the stress, and one of the ways that you deal with it is how you do it, which is a great way to do it. Just take breaths and just take your time and keep going until everybody is in a good place.
Yes.
There's always also able to walk away and just take a couple minutes, switch out with someone. Just allow yourself to collect yourself, because you don't want to lose it.
No.
Just for the fact that what can happen to you as an individual, and your life is pretty much ruined at that point.
Yeah, because you're building that relationship with them, and you don't want to lose that bond with them.
For sure. And then some of the training that you get, you go through two things called Tier 1, Tier 2, and they're kind of like mini classes, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about some of those classes that you take in those, so people would know what they're dealing with or what they're looking at? Oh. Want me to lead you on this one? Okay, yes, no problem. All right, so one of the things in these Tier 1s, Tier 2s is you'll get trained on how to handle certain diets, how to deal with individuals with dementia or certain mental health issues of that, along with the fact of how to properly balance a diet, how to do doctor's appointments, how to protect confidentiality are some of the things that you'll get trained on. I know for myself, one of the most interesting ones was having to deal with the blood-borne pathogen and how the proper procedure on that is. And there's a lot that goes into that, more than I think people may realize. That It's not, just put on a glove and put on a Band-Aid. No. It's checking out the area. It's making sure you grab a whole bunch of supplies, and there's the making sure the individual's okay, to the proper, how to bandage up, how to the proper protocol of, okay, do we need to call 911? Do we need to take them to the hospital, to cleaning up afterwards, and the proper way of washing your hands and proper way of cleaning when you're all done after that.
Yeah.
Have you had to deal with anything like that yourself?
I haven't yet. Just been having quite a few. I don't know if anybody's ever had a child with disabilities, or even somebody who has autism. That's been another. I know of parents who have had really trouble have better understanding of what they go through. So I know it's wherever if you need any like questions or how to have better understanding about autism, please let us know. We would gladly help you out with that.
Definitely. I mean, I think that's one important thing out there is that people know that they're not alone, that there's always someone there, whether it's something like what we do here through a podcast or something in the community or friends or family, whatever it may be, there's always something there. And I would love to see that expand, that become bigger. I always hear this word of inclusive or more inclusiveness. And sometimes I wonder and question people who might say it sometimes because I don't think they have the full understanding of inclusiveness.
Yeah.
As I would take an individual into community, there are people that are going to be very supportive, like, hey, how you doing? And try. And then there's others that are going to be, you get that dirty look, that nasty look of, well, what are you doing? Well, it's not their fault that they got that disability. So think about it, that could be you.
Mm-hmm. Because you never know the different behaviors. Yeah, you just gotta know. You can't just snap. You just gotta do some, if you can, to do some exercise or something to kind of help them, help calm their behavior.
Yeah, and that's the big thing as a DSP. That's the difference from them and a caregiver. Caregivers do everything. Where a DSP, we're like teachers. We are that support system. We are that backbone for that individual as they try to go through their daily life. We are the one person or group of people that are their world. We're their everything.
Yes.
Through my years of experience working in that field, you come like a brother, sometimes even a fatherly figure.
Yeah.
Or mother figure, whatever it may be. And just knowing that they have dreams, and it's part of the job of the DSP is to help them reach that dream, that potential. They may not be able to do everything, but if they can do it to a certain degree, or being able to go to that ball game, whatever it may be, it's DSP's biggest thing is making sure that happens, help them reach that potential, reach that goal. And just seeing the satisfaction when they do.
Yeah.
That's the greatest feeling. I mean,
yeah, it is.
I've always got the impression working in this field that as a DSP myself, that the greatest thing is that these guys have a better understanding of life and appreciate more than the rest of us because we lose this. We get into this mentality, we got to pay our bills, we got to do this, that we get so caught up into it, we forget what life is about. And we forget to appreciate what we do have. So, it's rather interesting, but yeah.
And I know one of the things I've really learned about autism, it could probably help you guys as well. They love music. And you can use your words by music. So if you want to help them to do their speech better, you can do it by singing. So you can follow along with them, and they'll figure it out.
No, yeah, that's true. Music is very powerful, and from what I understand about the autism world, is that music is a big key for them to have around, whether it's just an instrument or a song, whatever it may be, it's big.
Yeah.
And as a DSP, it's part of our goal or part of our job is to make sure that we can find that for them, and to make sure we find that what works within that realm. And you just don't stop until you finally get it. And when you finally find that tool, whether it's music, and that is guitars or drums, once you find it, man, you just nurture that for them. You just help them reach and chase after that.
Yeah.
So, and that's one of the greatest things of the DSP, I think, is when you find that one thing that they just love, man, just watching.
You guys clicked. That's the greatest feeling. You see that smile, and you guys finally bonded.
Oh, that's the truth. I mean, I just remember through my years of working in this field, seeing that myself. Just like it's that feeling of like, aha, they got it. It's going,
Yeah.
And it is that the littlest achievements are like just watching that light bulb go on. Just like, all right, they got it. It's going. But yeah, I mean, it can be stressful, but what job isn't,
Yeah. Yeah, because there are moments. You just gotta learn, just, if you need that break, just tell another staff, just, I need a break, I just need to go take a breather, and then come back and just make sure you just keep on having that smile, because they'll take that. Let me put this. They will see how you're acting, and they'll take that.
Oh yeah, they definitely they'll read you like a book, and that's so true. Is that once they'll feed off of that to the point where if they see you're happy, they're happy. If they see you're upset, they're like, oh crap, I'm upset too. I don't know why I'm upset, but I'm upset. But yeah, you're so that's so true. Being able to get out there and just mind yourself, because these individuals rely on us so heavily.
Yes. So whatever happens at home, please leave that at home. When you come to work, and just have the best attitudes, smile, show that positive attitude with them, and I'm telling you that it will go a long way.
Oh yeah, and it's true, and it's funny because the things you see day in and day out, you can't help but to smile, sometimes even laugh at the things you see. And it's not laughing at a bad thing, but laughing at the fact that you see the humor in the situation. You're just like, okay, that's good, And those moments are fun to have because they're gonna keep going. That it's tough, but I know just getting in there as a DSP, it's the nitty gritty, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I'm loving every individual I've met, and they got such a great, inspiring attitudes. I'm loving what I'm doing.
That's awesome to hear that you really get that satisfaction. And I just like to encourage everybody out there to find that satisfaction in that job. I know there's certain things out there that are like make it tough, but that's life. But yeah, not only in the training, but we also get trained on passing medicine and providing medicine, making sure that they take that day in and day out.
Yes.
When you were learning how to do that, was that stressful for you?
But you want to make sure that you're always marking the medicine that you're given, and then you look on the computer and you look and see, okay, this is the time I'm supposed to give them their medicine, and you just kind of watch after them taking the medicine to see if there's any reaction from the medicine.
Right. And going a little bit more in depth on what he's talking about is that every day, it could be anywhere from 2 times a day to 1 time a day. It varies on how much, depending on each individual. They could have a couple minutes, 2 up to maybe 12 minutes at each time. It just depends on what's going on for them. But what he's talking about is that it's important that you get the right time, right date, right route, right, everything in there.
Yeah.
And just like you said, take your time on doing that, making sure you got the right stuff, because some of the stuff that they take is really hardcore stuff.
That can impact it. That's why you gotta always be right there with them when they take the medicine, so you can see if there's any reaction.
No, for sure.
Very important.
Some of that stuff, man. If you don't, just man, it can get scary real quick. I mean, when you're learning, I know when I was learning, at first it was kind of like, okay, my big thing when I was learning how to do meds was making sure that I didn't rush myself.
Yes.
Um, I at times would have to explain to them guys, the reason why I'm slow is that it's not that I'm trying to drag my feet as much as it is making sure that I got the right medicine and everything for them. And that's why I'm slow. It's because at the end of the day, I would tell them, your lives are in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
And once I got into doing it more and more, I got to the point where I was able to build a certain speed, a certain rhythm that was bam, 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 and it was no issue.
Yeah. Yeah, take your time till you get that rhythm going, then just make sure things is nice and smooth. And yeah, just watching everything that they do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it's crazy that you never think about it, but just how important it is to make sure that everything is watched over like that.
Yes.
Simple mistakes can really be costly. But that's why I think it's great that they take the time and do the training, because they'll go over with you several times. Most places I've ever worked at, and I'm pretty sure this was like at the place you're working for, they go through a series of massive training and then a period of time before they let you go by yourself. And I think that's really smart that they take that time to invest into that, because at the end of the day, you don't want to give someone one particular type of medicine that you're not supposed to take, and they're like, oops. It's like, yeah, we're calling the poison control, we're calling 911, and now we're writing up a report at the end of the day.
Yeah, you gotta make that grr.
Oh.
Those are, for a lot of us, that is not fun, but we gotta make sure we tell exactly the event has happened, because if they don't get exactly what happened in the event, it's gonna be hard how they can prevent that event to happen the next time.
True. And these GERS are pretty long, can get pretty long really quick.
Yeah.
I've written a few, and I know by the time I got done writing them, it felt like I had written a book, And for everybody out there, a GER is just a fancy way of saying written incident report. That's pretty much all it means. It's just the terminology that they chose for that is just more like along the science medical meaning. So
yeah.
But yeah, it can get interesting. Some of this, it's not to mention the next thing. I think one of the things that we run into as DSPs is we'll see these things called ISPs, or individual service plans. There's also other various names for them too, but it's common to hear that. And it's pretty much what goes through. It talks about the individual's disabilities, talks about things that they require, what type of help they want, their favorite hobbies. Pretty much kind of like a backstory on that individual, which helps us DSPs to provide the best service possible.
Yes, that helps. It helps a lot, but have a better understanding of what their likes and dislikes.
Oh yeah, and I think for myself, if we didn't have something like that, I think throughout the years I worked at this field, there would have been a lot of tough situations trying to help them, not knowing, well, this person does not like cheese on their pizza. It's it's finding those little cues to avoid, or those little things to help out is just great.
Yeah, it does.
And I think is once every year or once every couple of years, I think they go over and then they either add or take out. Just depends on what's going on at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your input on that? What's your thoughts on the ISPs? I mean, how do you look at them? I mean, where do you stand on that?
Just really paying attention for what they like, and it was better understanding, because if there's like a event or some kind of thing they like and they're very passionate about it, be able to take them to those, just help them you're actually making their days so much happier.
Well, that's true. Because like the simple things, car shows, I know is one of the most popular. Wrestling's another popular in,
Yeah.
in the disabled community, and so yeah. But once you read them and kind of get out, I mean, it's a great tool to help out day in and day out.
Yeah, it helps.
I mean, I know it saved my butt a couple times, especially when I first started out in this field. You know, it's like, wow, there's a lot being thrown at you, so it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I mean, I look back at it now, here I am like a decade plus later, you know, like, well, that was interesting. You know, just, you look back at it now and you're like, wow, I actually went through that whole situation, okay. But looking back at the memories, looking back at everything, I can laugh at certain things now like I couldn't have years ago because of what was going on at the time. You know, it's like, oh crap, okay, yeah, look at that, you know. But yeah, and days are long, or days can be long.
Yeah. And a lot of times, I've had quite a few clients who say they just want their private time, so you gotta respect that. You gotta give them their space.
Oh, that for sure. Because I mean, just like anybody, you know, they need that 5 minutes of me time, whatever that me time is. You know?
Yeah.
So no, that's true. You know, once you figure out their way of telling you that, you deal with it. You know.
Yeah. And it helps.
Yeah, it does. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up here on this stuff. Is there anything else you'd like to add or think you want to share out there?
Just have a better understanding, like I said, for the likes and dislikes, and with the medicine stuff, make sure you watch very carefully what you give them, and make sure you might have somebody who's a spitter who will spit the medicine. Just make sure you always have your hand like that when you give it to them, and make sure you have a cup of water with them. This is something that I've learned just recently, because I give to the individual his medicine without the water and really the safe caution, and he spit it out and threw it to the wall.
You were only trying to share with you, okay?
Mm-hmm. So
Yes.
with that, with us DSPs, we have to expose it. So we gotta make sure you have your gloves on, and there would be a big container. It's got like cat litter in it, and you just crush it up and just put it in there, and you put it back in there so it's nice and you be exposed back in there. And you gotta be very careful, because any meds hits in that ground, you cannot give that to the clients.
Oh yeah, and that's a whole nother show within itself on that, just right there, what to do and all that. So,
Yeah.
But thanks for sharing your insights on this and where you stand on stuff, because it's always nice to hear from others. You know, because sometimes as a DSP, sometimes you really do feel like you're alone. You know, it's like sometimes like that us versus the world mentality, and or that big time shield for these individuals. So
yeah, just like we all said, like last episode, they want to be treated just like how you want to be treated.
yes.
So let's show all of them respect, just like as you want to have respect as well.
Right. And true, love on each other, respect on each other, the importance of understanding that, yes, we may all have our own issues, we all may have our own disabilities, or whatever going on in our lives, but yes, treating each other the way that you want to be treated is important. And we got a little visitor here wanting to say hi. This is our good friend Chloe. Chloe, say hi, baby girl. She's our little mascot, I suppose you can say. Very loving dog. But yeah, you're right. It's treat each other like you want to be treated yourself, and that's how they are. They just want to be treated as human beings, and not seen for someone that has some type of disability or issue that they may be dealing with.
Yes, what's end abuse and what's end with got ahead of my head.
Don't worry, we all have those moments where we have something and it's like cramp change of spirit. So I get it, man. No worries.
Yeah, it's in bullying and abuse. It's because it does affect them for their whole life. So it's in the bullying and abuse because it's not right. And if you see anyone do that, please call 911.
Yes, and if necessary, if you see someone getting hit, please step in and protect them.
Yes.
Oftentimes, they're not going to be able to protect themselves. So, please, whatever it is, if you need to step in and stop them from being hit, or what Keith's saying, call 911. Report it right away. Don't let it continue. I know it's scary to report. I know it could be scary for potential retaliation, but you know what? You're protected one way or another by law, and don't be scared. You know, it's definitely a very scary feeling, and I won't deny that.
Yes, it is.
So, again, thank you for tuning in to our podcast this week. Till next time, you guys have yourselves a great evening, great week. Be safe out there, and a happy late 4th of July, everybody.
Yes. Thank you. And if you want to get a hold of us, go on Oregon Angels 2021 at gmail.com. You can get a hold of us if you have any questions or if you need any help finding a program or anything to help with your child who has disabilities. And we will gladly help, even with money-wise. If you need help, we'll do like a fundraiser or donations to help those individuals. Just we're here to help you. We want to be that guardian angel for you.
Exactly. We are more than happy to help you. I mean, got questions, concerns, comments, you know, please get a hold of us. We'll do everything we can to help you out, point you in the right direction. And even if you just need someone to listen, you know, just to sound off on your stress, that's fine.
Yes, we are here.
We get it. So, till next time, guys, have a great evening, great week. See you soon.
You're good.